think the data's out yet, right? Just Ben doing his thing in after hours. Forward guidance, AI games are the future. I haven't sold any GME CCs into earnings. I know you were wondering. I wasn't, but that seems like a smart choice. I feel you feel mighty dumb for selling your shares at higher than $15 and missing out on this crazy action. I still have shares. I'm gonna regret it if we open at 12 tomorrow. Forward guidance, we've invested all our money in 5-year bonds. Results out in the newsroom. All right, let's see what we got. We got net sales 1.078 billion for the period compared to 1.186 in the prior. SG&A expenses were 296.5 million or 27.5% of net sales for the period compared to 387.9 or 32.7% of net sales in the prior year's third quarter. Net loss was 3.1 million for the period compared to a net loss of 94.7 in the prior year's third quarter. Cash and cash equivalents securities were 1.210 billion. Long-term debt remains limited to one low-interest unsecured term loan associated with the French government's response to COVID-19. So net loss, -1 EPS, which is, I mean, it's still a beat on the expected EPS. Anyway, bipolar bear, your words were marked and they were found deficient. 90 days plus. I was spot on, right? They missed on revenues and EPS beat, but was still negative. Look at me go. No guidance. Yeah, I don't even think they're doing a earnings call. How much did DRS increase? Who gives a flying? RC postponed MOAS again. The company will not be holding a conference call today. Additional information will be found in the company's Form 10Q. All right, well, I'm gonna f off for the rest of the day. Let me go over the end of the day that matters. So we close on ES below the bear signal. This really just moves us down to the prior neutral range we were in before, and we're still looking for that break of 45.50 ES that we've been waiting on for like 2 weeks. But we are a lot closer. There's less defensive positioning here now than there was prior. So I think we're in a good spot to start to see things turn around, at least over the next couple of days. Data on Friday is going to be pretty important. So there's still a chance that Friday could see us bounce into close. And then we start moving into like the pre-SLD period where I expect we'll probably see upside unless we substantially lose 45.50 on SPX going into OPEX. So if we lose, let's say we lose 45.25, the charm dynamic going into the expiration is going to flip. Instead of charm flows being supportive, they're going to be negative. The MM will be selling. And, you know, with gamma neutral now around the 45.30 range, we could start moving down really quick if we were to break through those downside resistances. Obviously, the JPM collars at 45.15, so I can kind of just keep picking up from there. But we'll see. Friday's data is still going to be very, very important. Broad commodities down once again today, double bottoming of their prior low from back in May. This may continue. It seems like there's not a lot of confidence in China's stimulus turning their economy around right now, and we're still seeing major declines in oil and nat gas prices. So you know, one of those is a warmer than expected winter and surplus in inventory, right? The other is, you know, China might not be able to dig themselves out of the hole and they're just increasing their debt to GDP for no reason. Dollar up, yields down again, but dollar up quite substantially today, another 22 basis points and back above that 104 level. Remember, if dollar keeps pushing up, that's going to pressure credit spreads wider and it's going to increase demand on vol, and it makes risk assets a little less attractive, so equities. Core 1 month turned around really hard today. Core 3 month is kind of continuing finding a bottom, but both of those look like we're starting to see increased demand in vol in the indexes, and we're starting to see a breakdown of that dispersion trade. USD JPY is still dropping, so we're still seeing de-risking of the carry trade, but obviously it's not sufficient. I mean, if we go out to the 1 week, it's still fucking ridiculous, right? It's like, you know, well above the great financial crisis levels still, but it is being de-risked actively. Yield on vol is still turning around, following a pretty continuous trend that shows an increased demand for volatility, but not positive yet. So nothing's breaking yet there. Move up on the day, so a little more bond volatility. That obviously helps push correlation a bit. Skew flat, although that might change. That usually doesn't print till after hours. VIX futures up a little bit today. Yeah, 54 basis points. So a little bit of a turnaround in VIX and spot VIX, up 70 BPS. And let's see, parts of the S&P, so 78.72% of the S&P now, above its 20-day moving average. Obviously still very high, but the expectation is that'll come down over time. GME, missed on revenues, beat on EPS. Actually, they might have beat on revenues. What was the expected revenue? 1.18. Yeah, so they missed on revenues, beat on the expectation of. Oh no, they missed on earnings as well, because it was 0.08 and it was 0.1, right? So they missed on both. Down 1.82%, 2.2%, and after hours trading. Plenty of liquidity available everywhere. I don't think shorting is going to be an issue. XRT and IJH both very liquid after the recent run, so shorts are well prepared for a miss here. There should be no lack of ammo to short this if they want to. Upstart starting to turn around a little bit after today's failure at $36. I'd still want a little more confirmation that the trend had shifted on this. It's still above Gamma Max and highly volatile, but it is starting to turn around. So maybe cautiously short vol positions would be good on it, like spreads. Fubo fell back a little bit today after testing or reattempting a test at 350. Shorting has been pretty continuous on it. Obviously, there's still a decent amount of available liquidity. If they wanted to get it back below $3, it wouldn't be too much of a problem, but I don't think they want to short into Russell continuously rising. So if Russell starts to fall back, I think we'll see Fubo fall back. Top crossed over, but we're still not seeing any volume. So really what we're looking for here is an increase in volume that shows that we're going to see some continued covering and see that, that liquidity impulse come in. But so far hasn't happened. It is inching up day by day, but it's slow progress. Beyond, however, is starting to move, and starting to move pretty quickly. We broke through that put wall at 9. Next put wall is at 10. Delta neutral is at 10.20. A break above delta neutral, the options chain's pretty free and clear all the way up to wherever Gamma Max ends up, which will continue to contract closer and closer to spot as options interest increases at the money. But yeah, I mean, it's up, 50% over 7 days now. So it should start drawing some attention and some FOMO. And I think we saw a little bit of that today and last night when it ran into close. I think that's about everything. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Obviously, everybody have a great night. I'll get Pickles picks out to you probably around midnight or so. And I'll see you tomorrow. Later, guys.